Buying your first home is one of the most exciting journeys in your life, and it's also one of the biggest decisions of your life. But let me tell you, I know quite a few people who find this journey tiring, stressful, and sometimes even frustrating. Bullseye Capital is proud and happily brings to you this free of cost course where we share with you our learnings, our tips that help you make this journey easier and you find your home sweet home faster. We will soon be uploading videos to this channel that will help you get closer to your first home. So please hit the like button and to get the notifications of weekly updates. Your home sweet home is that place where you will build memories. You will grow old. And it is that place that you will come back to after a stressful day at work. This place or buying this place is one of your biggest decisions and probably one of your biggest investments in life. And that's why that comes the pressure. Although there is a beauty to it, there is also the aspect of financial considerations. Before you buy your principal place of residence, you are renting. So practically you are stopping your rent and putting some money into a place of your own. How wonderful does that sound? But if this is done correctly, do you also realize that this biggest investment of your life can also grow in value that will help you build a solid financial foundation for your family, for your dear ones? So there are two aspects to this. First is the lovely home, sweet home, and also the additional benefit that it gives to you financially, making it even bigger decision. Now, when you are buying your principal place of residence, there may be more than one stakeholders, generally two. And views and the opinions of both those stakeholders have to be taken into consideration. This makes it slightly complicated at times. We will help you navigate through that too. But let me first start off with what are the first 3 or 4 things that you need to consider before you start your journey. The 4 things that you need to consider while buying your principal place of residence are as follows. First, your eligibility. Second, whichever state you are in, the stamp duty, the exemptions for first home buyer, etc. etc. Third, your team. Who are involved? What are their roles? And fourth, what is your final target? So let's look at the first one in detail, eligibility. Especially if you are a migrant, you need to check if you are eligible to buy your principal place of residence and what stamp duty implications are applicable to it. Stamp duty implications and first home buyer implications may vary from state to state. So please consult your broker or even an online search will help you get clarity on this. I am not going to deep dive into this because you could be in any state. But let me tell you, in some states, for a certain amount, the stamp duty is exempt. And in some states, on house and land packages, there are some other provisions given. So please go ahead and start doing this homework. That was the first point and the second point. The third point, and one of the most important points, is your team. Your team should include the following: your mortgage broker, your conveyancer, who has to be operating in the state that you are buying in. Third, your accountant. And fourth, a property advisor if you are working one with. Each of these people have an important role to play. The first thing that starts off with is your mortgage broker. Your mortgage broker is going to give you the maximum purchase price based on your salaries, your expenses, and other aspects that the bank is looking at. That is your maximum purchase price for your principal place of residence. Now I will tell you how I did it. I will share with you how it went with me. So my broker gave me a budget of $800,000 as your maximum purchase price. That this is your maximum purchase price based on whatever pay slips, etc. you have provided and whatever savings you have. Now, me and my wife did not want to go and invest to that extent. My wife was of the thought process, let's buy something around the 600K mark. And if we need to put in something like 50 to 100K into that, into renovating that place, we'll do that. And then, our total expenditure will come at around 650 or 700K. My thought process was completely different. I wanted to go small. So I was looking around the 500 to 550k mark. And my thought process was that gradually over a period of time, I might put into 50 to 100k into that property. But my thought process or my focus more was on the location, the accessibility of that location, what it is proximate to, like train station, schools, shopping center. Those were my focus points, because these are the focus points that are not going to change. What you can change is the interiors of the row house, the carpets, the flooring, the paint, etc., etc. In those days, this is 2018, there was no COVID. There was nothing called as work from home. We all went to office. So closeness to station or 10-minute walk to station was my first criteria. So anyways, coming back to the budget point, against a total budget of 800 grand, we went and bought something for $539,000. And we are happy with what we did. We don't have a very big land, we don't have a small land, we don't have a very big house, we don't have a small house. We have managed to get what we have liked, but its location is of prime importance. That is also one of my first suggestions to you, that once you have a budget, you decide whether how much of that budget you want to stretch up to. You want to stick to 60 to 70% of it or go higher. One more reason why I stuck to 60 to 70% of that budget is also because I wanted to keep spare amounts for my investment journey that would gradually start. So, this is my advice on budget. The next point that I will cover is, what kind of property do you want? So there are options of buying existing houses. There are options of buying existing houses and renovating them mildly or moderately or majorly. And there is also an option of going for a house and land package. Each of these options have their own beauty and their own constraints. In an existing house, there is nothing much that you can change other than cosmetic changes if you want a moderate renovation. If you want a major renovation, then after buying that house also you're going to continue getting work done for 3 to 6 months. So you are probably going to be renting for 3 to 6 months more. But if you go for a house and land package, you have the options to tweak the layout in certain limits based on the builder's allowance, but you can get many more options to how you want the house to be. Each of them have their own pros and cons. I would request you to consider the pros and cons on each of them and then decide what option you want to take forward. So that is the second topic. Whether you go for an existing house with minimal changes, existing house with moderate or major renovation, or a house and land package. Moving on to the next point. At Bullseye, we generally give our clients some homework to do. So this is your homework before I see you in the next episode. I would like you to find out from your respective team members. One, what is your budget? Two, how much do you want to spend across that budget? Three, have you thought about house and land, existing house with minor modifications or existing house with major modifications? Have both the decision makers come to an agreement on that? Fourth, have you found out about your state, its tax, its stamp duty exemptions, first home buyer benefits, etc.? And five, if you have started thinking on how much you want to spend across that budget. These five things, please come prepared with this. Please start a diary where you note all these down, and then I will take you onto the next journey in the next episode. And I look forward to helping you on this and getting you closer to your home sweet home. आज के लिए बस इतना ही, मिलते हैं अगले हफ्ते, तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।